With the anticipated release of OmegaRuby AlphaSaphire just a few short weeks away, I thought it'd be appropriate to take a trip down memory lane and talk about the last time Pokémon got a remake. HeartGold and SoulSilver are remakes of the 1999 classics Pokémon Gold and Silver. They got their Western release in early 2000 and are to this day some of the best-selling DS games out there. Are those sales warranted? Strangely enough, just like Pearl and Sapphire before it, I had never taken the plunge and played those games. After having finally completed SoulSilver, I can say with confidence that these remakes are not only some of the best designed Pokémon games ever made, but you can see that Game Freak made these games to please the fans. Having grown myself with the earlier titles, I always preferred Team Rocket to all the other villains the series has seen since. Because of that, I really can't say anything negative about the storyline of HeartGold and SoulSilver. It's a kid's game at heart, but can still be highly entertaining for adults, especially those that grew up with the series like myself. Like I said before, this is really a homage to Pokéfans. The plot here revolves around the fact that Red, the main hero from Pokémon Red, Blue and Yellow, defeated Giovanni 3 years ago and disbanded Team Rocket. Now in the present, Team Rocket are attempting a comeback and it's up to you again to spoil their plans. I still find the grunts in Team Rocket to be absolutely hilarious. But the game does have a darker tune sometimes. For example, in the beginning of the game, you'll have to stop Team Rocket who are actually cutting off the tails of Slowpoke and selling them in the black market. One of my favorite characters from HeartGold SoulSilver has to be the new rival, officially known as Silver, although you can name him however you please. Blue, or Gary as he was known in the anime, always acted like a jerk in the original games, but wasn't really a bad guy. Silver, on the other hand, actually steals a Pokémon from Professor Elm and does plenty of bad deeds during the adventure. Going back to Blue, you also see him in this game and he's now a kick-ass gym leader. The only gym leader to this date who doesn't exclusively use one elemental type. The fact that HeartGold SoulSilver is a direct sequel to Red, Blue, Yellow is also pretty cool as you not only revisit Kanto, the location of the originals, but also run into many familiar characters like Professor Oak, who still plays a major role. Unfortunately for us who live in 2004, many of the game's coolest features are no longer available without the use of a cheating device. Nintendo held many events back in the day that required the download of a specific item or Pokémon from the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. It's a shame that these are no longer available as some are truly spectacular. There's an event in particular that ties Silver directly at Giovanni and hints that he may in fact be his son. Another event lands you an Arceus which can then grant you another epic legendary during another event. All of these are epic but sadly no longer available. They are easily viewable on YouTube and are worth watching at least once to get the whole story. I would have liked to experience them myself, but I guess that's what you get when you jump on the bandwagon so late. Speaking of legendaries, HeartGold and SoulSilver gives you the opportunity to capture the most I've ever seen. That's probably the greatest strength of the title, its post-game content. Not only is it the only game in the series that grants you the opportunity of getting 16 badges in total, But there are so many caves and areas to explore after watching the credits that you'll be keeping this one in your DS or 3DS for a long time. It also has the best final boss of the series in red, the champion from Kanto who carries a team of 6 Pokémon, all of which were at least level 80. You'll be surprised as well when you challenge the Elite Four for the second time. Not only do they now have 6 Pokémon with increased levels, but they also sport brand new pokes who are usually massive threats. The fanboy in me was extremely pleased. There's something charming about the old school visuals of the 2D Pokémon games, and HeartGold SoulSilver are some of the best looking in the series. All the Pokémon have really sweet designs, and it shows with some of the sprite work. I also love how it brought back a feature from Yellow by letting a Pokémon follow you while you walk around. Just simple touches like seeing the Pokémon being withdrawn from his Pokéball during battle make this game that much more enjoyable. Perhaps the only negative thing I have to say about these remakes is that the encounter rate is pretty high. I had to buy repels and super repels right at the beginning because I couldn't stand all those random fights every few steps. Also, the game doesn't ask you if you want to use another repel once it's extinguished, which means that you have to manually go into your menu and select another one every single time. I'm not sure when this feature was introduced, but I didn't know how much I missed it until I played SoulSilver. Pokémon HeartGold and SoulSilver is simply pure candy. The game plays extremely well, is fast-paced, the characters are enjoyable, and it also looks pretty good. There isn't anything major here to prevent anyone from playing the game. If you've never played Pokémon before and are curious to see what all the fuzz is about, HeartGold and SoulSilver would be the perfect games to start with. Color me surprised, these remakes are some of the best portable games I've yet played. Hunt them down if you can, they are very well worth your time. Thanks for tuning in and stay tuned for more Pokémon coverage.